going away with me?
Yes. Yes, Alexei. Don't leave me ever again.
Oh, Anna.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to thank you for all the lovely letters you have sent me. And secondly, I want to thank you for all the encouragement you have given me since David Copperfield. It's been a great pleasure and honor to work with Miss Garbo and Mr. March in our new picture, Anna Karenina. And I hope and believe that you will like it just as much as you did David Copperfield. Thank you.
Unimaginable despair, or to bliss, unimaginable bliss.
I told you that before you went away. You undertook to bear that penalty. You will bear it, as I have had to bear mine. Do you hear? Do you hear?
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't think you cared what happened to me.
Anya, dearest, how can you say that? I love you. I love you, Anya.
Do you?
Don't doubt it. You must never doubt it.
I know now that there's no escape for me. I love you, Alexei. I love you.
Hi there, I'm Robert Osbourne, and we're toasting playwrights all this week on TCM, theatrical playwrights, whose works were eventually transposed to the motion picture screen. And up next is a really delightful movie, The Swan, based on a play by the renowned Ferenc Molnar, about a lovely girl who's trying to snag a prince for a husband. It stars Grace Kelly as the girl, Alec Guinness as the prince, and Louis Jourdan as a very handsome fellow who catches the girl's eye at a very inopportune moment. It was Grace Kelly who actually got MGM to make this movie. She wasn't keen on the parts MGM had been giving her to play, so she suggested they do The Swan. And MGM, mainly to keep her happy, put it into production. Then one of those things happened for real, which seems too pat even for a movie script. In real life, just before this film began shooting, Grace Kelly went to the Cannes Film Festival in France. And while there, she met Prince Rainier of Monaco for the first time. And while The Swan was in production, Grace and Rainier began corresponding secretly. Then the film wrapped just before Christmas of 1955, and Grace went to Philadelphia, home for the holidays, and who should join her there but the prince? And the rest, as they say, is history. 4 months later, Grace Kelly became Princess Grace of Monaco. And 1 week after the wedding, MGM released this film about a girl who wants to marry a prince. From 1956, life imitating art, The Swan. This movie marked the beginning of a great friendship and a running joke between Grace Kelly and Alec Guinness. While they were filming The Swan at the Biltmore Mansion in North Carolina, some Native Americans visited the set and presented Alec Guinness with a tomahawk for a gift. Well, it was much too heavy for him to lug back to England, so he had a hotel worker slip it into Grace Kelly's bed. She never mentioned finding it, but years later, Guinness found the tomahawk in his bed in London. And after that, it was a game as to how and when one could surprise the other by having that tomahawk show up in some unexpected place. And the two of them played that game for years. Up next, a play by Edward Albee with Katharine Hepburn. It's called A Delicate Balance.
Turner Classic Movies is open all night. Katharine Hepburn stars in a drama about a neurotic Connecticut family, A Delicate Balance. Then a political campaign manager pulls a fast one in The Dark Horse. And heiress Betty Davis finds herself rubbing elbows with a working man. Turner Classic Movies works up a sweat all night.
I'm Cesar Romero. If you visited the famous Brown Derby in Beverly Hills, you've seen these portraits of the Academy Award winners by famous artist Nicholas Volpe. His rendering of the stars are practically a legend in our town. They're not for sale. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences commissions Mr. Volpe to draw portraits of the best actor and actress every year, the top Oscar winners. Now, for the first time, you may own superb copies of these portraits suitable for framing. Every Oscar winner from 1928 to 1961. Hollywood's top stars, portrayed as you know them best. Marlon Brando, Elizabeth Taylor, James Stewart, Bing Crosby, Sophia Loren, and many more. Plus the Oscar winners of yesterday, Mary Pickford, Lionel Barrymore, Wallace Beery, and so on. A very limited supply of these extraordinary portfolios is available in the lobby of this theater. I'm sure you'll want this collection of Hollywood's great stars for your own. It's a portfolio I know you will treasure.
Grace Kelly, Spencer Tracy.
Vincent Minnelli.
Typical Hollywood story.
Damn good actress.
I might become a writer and want to do a story about it someday.
A writer?
Maybe.
What made me write the subject was roses.
Me too.
A couple of things. One thing is that my parents died, which allowed me the freedom to really talk about what went on in our household.
What, didn't it strike you as peculiar?
Everything strikes me as peculiar.
There's something you're not telling me.
Well, we all have our little secrets.
I don't think I would have dared my father's wrath. As the Irish say, he would have given me a thump on the lug if I had done it.
Answer me.
And then the other was, there comes an optimum moment when you get a certain distance from your real experience, where you're free enough to be true to the material and still exercise your imagination. And I had reached just that point.
When I left this house 3 years ago, I blamed him for everything that was wrong here. When I came back, I blamed you. Now I suspect no one's to blame. Not even me.
From stage to screen, celebrate the finest work of playwrights in the movies. Great adaptations are featured all this week, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on Turner Classic Movies.
Hollywood Historama, from out of the past, the story of Katharine Hepburn, strange mixture of true artist and little girl. Not too many years ago, in this picturesque, gabled home along Hartford's famed literary lawn, lived a freckled-faced, red-headed little girl whose ability to pout and cry at will held an entire household captive, forcing them to succumb to her determined and beguiling ways. However, years later, this girlish determination was to become a nemesis, creating a series of Hepburn setbacks that were self-made. Yet, in her search for a Broadway career, her potential genius was sensed by producers and fellow actors, and before long, the taste of victory as her big break came in The Warrior's Husband. Rave notices motivated the immediate drafting of her talents by RKO. She was sent to Hollywood and became an overnight sensation in more ways than one. In her first picture, Bill of Divorcement with John Barrymore, she was an instantaneous hit, and she amazed the movie colony by wearing slacks and sweaters, driving her own car, and refusing to attend Hollywood parties. In Morning Glory with C. Aubrey Smith and Douglas Fairbanks, Jr., this real-life doctor of psychology stunned the entertainment world by running away with the Academy Award in what was only her second motion picture. With Joan Bennett, Spring Byington, Frances D. and Gene Parker, Katharine solidified her hold on fans and critics alike with her outstanding performance as Jo in Little Women. But before the studio arcs had a chance to cool, she'd placed herself in the capable hands of the great George Stevens. And for the second time in 4 pictures, this virtual newcomer had won another Academy Award for her performance in Alice Adams. Katie Hepburn had become an enigma to the colony, the general public, and her fans. Fame and fortune rolled on for this lovely miss, whose quality of conviction won her the role as the hapless monarch in Mary of Scotland. Katie was brilliant, and moviegoers throughout the land wept as their favorite inched her way proudly towards the executioner's block. However, sorrows vanished as she and Cary Grant linked their names in the laugh riot Bringing Up Baby, which started out as a serene, composed little ditty until Baby showed up in the form of a full-grown leopard chasing peace and tranquility right out the window. And a new comic Hepburn was born, which prompted noted playwright Philip Barry to pen the Philadelphia story especially for her to play on Broadway. When the run was over, it was back to the RKO stages to film the year's biggest hit with the help of an all-star cast. Katie was declared the champ over a fate that had been unkind in the beginning. On Broadway, she could name the theater and the vehicle. In Hollywood, she was offered only the finest, to magnify the depth and the humor of Hollywood's unrivaled enigma called Hepburn. A willingness to shed the glamour and exotic image of typical feminine stars made millions adore her, and crews and co-stars idolized this rascalous aristocrat of the screen named Katharine Hepburn.
Hi there, I'm Robert Osbourne. As part of the 75th anniversary celebration of Warner Brothers Studios, Turner Classic Movies wants you to know about the Warner Brothers Festival of Classics. Legendary movies like Casablanca and Rebel Without a Cause, and modern-day classics including Driving Miss Daisy and Unforgiven, will once again be shown on the big screen in this touring film festival. Starting this spring and all summer long, Warner Brothers will fill theater screens across America. And what better way to honor the best of Warner Brothers' legendary films than by watching them again on the big screen? So be sure to attend the Festival of Classics at a theater near you and join Warner Brothers Studios in celebrating 75 years of entertaining the world.
Red sweater over there.